Hello everybody and welcome to the second video of Thrifty Chef. Today we're going to make roasted jalapeno and garlic hummus with flatbread. Now this is going to be a lot easier than it sounds, and I'm going to walk you through step by step how to do this on a budget. So here are the ingredients that we're going to use today. We're going to use carrots, the celery, the cilantro, the garlic, onion that we have left over from our last recipe, and then to that we're going to add a jalapeno, a couple of limes, a lemon, the chickpeas, and then salt, a little bit of sugar, baking powder, flour, sesame oil, and some regular old canola oil. Okay, so now that we've gone through everything that we need, I'm just going to prep up the jalapenos, the garlic, the onions, throw it into my roasting pan, and put it into my oven, which I have preheating at 450 degrees. So what I want to do is I want to take some of the canola oil, put it right into the roasting pan. You want a fair bit. So we're going to use this oil when we blend up hummus too. So I used maybe a half a cup. Then the sesame oil, I'm just going to use this for flavor, maybe 2 tablespoons. We're going to chop up our jalapeno. I want to keep this top because I'm going to use this as a garnish later on. And then the jalapeno, I'm just going to cut into circles. Throw that right in the roasting pan. Garlic, I showed you how to do this in the last video. Okay, so that's about 8 cloves of garlic. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take about half of this onion, I'm going to keep the other half because we're going to use it in the flatbread. This half, a nice rough chop on it, I'm going to roast that as well. So I've got my onion, my garlic, my jalapenos. Just want to give it a quick little coating with the oil. Now I've got it coated with the oil. I'm going to throw this straight into my oven, probably about 10 to 15 minutes. Okay, now that we have the jalapenos, the onions, and the garlic roasting away in the oven, I'm going to prep up the flatbread. So what I'm going to need is the cilantro, the onion, the sugar, the salt, a little bit of oil, baking powder, flour, cold water. So let's get going on this. So I'm only going to need about 1/4 of this onion. Dice it up nice and small. Like that. Put that right in our bowl. Take a little bit of this cilantro. Nice fine chop on it. About that much. All these measurements all depend on how many people you have coming, how much flatbread you want, but I'm just going to make a little bit just to show you how to do it. Then next, about half a cup of flour, right in the bowl. A half teaspoon of baking powder. It's going to make it nice and light and airy. Half teaspoon of the sugar. Get some nice caramelization on it. Add a little bit of sweetness to the bread. Pinch of salt. Tablespoon of oil. And we're going to add cold water to this, a little bit at a time, until we have this into a dough that we can work with. So you want a consistency about like that. A little bit stretchy. Everything mixed together well. So to roll out this flatbread, you're going to need a rolling pin, which I don't think I mentioned earlier. But if you don't have a rolling pin, you can always use even a wine bottle that you've cleaned the outside of. Works well, but I have my nice little rolling pin. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take opposite side of my cutting board, sprinkle a little bit of flour down, take a tablespoon, right in the middle of the flour, a little bit on top, press it down with my hand. You want to make sure you have a lot of flour on here so it doesn't stick to the pin. And take a little bit in your hand, dust your rolling pin as well. Just want to roll this out. Alright, so I'm going to do this a couple more times. I'm going to get 4 or 5 of these done, and then I'll show you how to fry them. Okay, so I have my frying pan, some oil in it on high heat. Tell my oil's ready because it's moving around the pan very nicely, nice and easily. So what we're going to do is we're going to take flatbread, gently just going to set it down into the frying pan. A little bit hot. And 3 of these at the same time. So I'm just going to let these brown up on one side. Let's take a look underneath here. There you can see some nice browning on them. I'm going to flip them over in the order that we put them into the frying pan. At this stage I have them all flipped over. I'm just going to add a little bit more oil. I want some nice color on both sides. Alright, so I'm going to leave these in the frying pan to finish off. I'm going to turn the heat off and I'm going to set this off to the side. Okay, so this is the onions, garlic, jalapenos after about 10 minutes in the oven. They are roasted off nicely. They see some really good color on them. The smell that's in here right now is amazing. So I'm going to pull this out of the oven, let it cool off a little bit before we blend it into the chickpeas. I want to juice up this lemon and the limes. So the easiest way to juice these is to put it down, put some pressure on it, and really roll them out. That'll loosen up the fibers on the inside. You'll get a lot more juice out of them. I'm going to do that with all 3 of them. So, I'm going to cut it at an angle. I find you get the most juice out of it that way. And limes don't have any seeds in them, so they're going to be easy. I can squeeze those right into my container. The lemons, I'm just going to squeeze this through my hand to catch all the seeds. Now, I've also opened up my can of chickpeas. I'm going to add that right to my juice. You can see I got just about 50 milliliters of juice out of those 2. Put the chickpeas right in there. After that, I'm going to add all of the oil, the jalapenos, the onions, the garlic. And then I'm going to blend this up. These have cooled off. Okay, so I've got my hand blender plugged in. To this, I want to add a pinch of salt, 2 pinches. And also I have some water here. Just in case this doesn't blend up very well, I can add a little bit of water just to keep it moving. So I'm going to blend this up. I'm going to submerge it in underneath the oil so it doesn't all splash onto me. Push down hard. And then slowly pulse it. Just like that. So, I want to try this to make sure it's got enough salt in it. So good. Spicy and garlicky. Lime and lemon come through. Oh, it's got a nice heat to it. Okay, so now I'm just going to put together a plate with this, with the celery, the carrots, the flatbread, a little bowl of the hummus, and we're going to enjoy. I hope you guys liked my video. If you did, subscribe to my page, add a comment underneath this video, maybe suggest a dish you'd like to see me do on a budget. Totally love to make a video for you guys. So I'm going to enjoy some of this while you enjoy another video. That's so good. You gotta try this one. See you later.